Welcome to the Brass and Woodwind Shop. This is the third video in the series about overhauling this old York Cornet. As mentioned in the last video, today I'm going to strip the spray paint off of this and I'm going to pull the tuning sides. This instrument was spray painted many years ago before I got it. This cornet is silver plated. If it were lacquered, the stripper would take off the lacquer too, but since it's silver plated, I probably can get away with using the paint thinner. About the spray paint on here, it's not on here that good. I can take my fingernail and scrape off a lot of this. The problem is that there are so many spaces and cracks and crevices in here that it's going to be hard to get that all off. So I thought that if I could get it off with a paint stripper and then maybe a brass brush or something like that, if I can get in the cracks easier and the paint comes right off, this may be easier than scraping it by hand. I'm going to do an experiment with a small part of the instrument. I'm going to take one of the bottom valve caps and put it in some paint thinner and see if anything bad happens or if it just takes the paint off. I have some paint thinner. I'm going to put that in a bowl along with the valve cap and I will see what happens. I'm going to leave that in there for a few minutes, and while I leave that in there, I'm going to pull out some tuning sides off of this instrument. Most cornets have 4 tuning sides, however this one has 5. It has an extra one right here. So I have the 3 valve sides to pull off, and then the main tuning side, and then the low pitch tuning side. I'm not sure how stuck these tuning sides are. Sometimes tuning sides come out very easily, and other times they are very difficult to get out. And on this one I have no idea, so I'll go figure that out right now. Sometimes if sides are not that stuck, you can work them a little bit back and forth, and then also try pushing the slide in just a little bit. And sometimes pushing it in loosens it up just enough so that you can pull it out. This one, however, does not seem to be budging. So I'll need to go the next step on this one. And now I'm going to try the first valve slide. Try the same thing on that. Just try working it a bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, that one came out easily. The second valve slide is out most of the way, so that one I may be able to get that loose just by wiggling it back and forth. But it's also hard to hold on to because there's all kinds of other tubing in the area. So, oh, there we go. That loosened up. Now the main tuning slide. Okay, I can see that the top part is loose. It is moving a little bit, so the bottom part is stuck. Let's see, there we go. That one came out. So we have 3 down, 2 to go. Now I'll try the low pitch tuning slide. This one does not seem to be coming out easily either. Okay, I cannot do that one by hand either, so that leaves me 2 that need to get pulled out. Before I go any farther, I'm going to put some penetrating oil on the sides, but the penetrating oil might not go in because of the spray paint. It may have clogged that up. I'm going to take the poker and I'm going to scrape it around where the tuning slide is, and hopefully the penetrating oil will go into it. Now I'm putting the penetrating oil on there. I probably should have done this last night and let it sit, but I didn't think about it, so I guess I'm doing it now. Now I'm going to put some heat on the sides to try to draw in the penetrating oil. I'm going to let that sit, and while I do, I'm going to check out the progress on the valve cap. I'm going to try the wire brush and see what happens. Okay, it is coming off, and these are brass bristles on here, so it's not going to hurt the silver finish. Okay, it looks like it's going to pull off some of the paint. There's still a little bit left on there though. It looks like the paint came off nicely, and it did not do anything to the silver finish, so I think that this is going to work. The next thing I'm going to try is some wick, and this is used for wick in kerosene lamps. normally, but of course I'm using it to pull out tuning slides. And what I'm going to do is put that on there. I chucked the wick in a vise, and now I'm going to pull on this, see if I can loosen that up. I do have to be very careful because these braces are sharp, and I don't want to hurt my hands, so I'm going to be careful. I'm going to pull on this and see if it comes loose. Okay, it didn't come loose from regular pulling, so now I'm going to try pulling it like this. And I'm going to try to catch the slide because sometimes if it lets loose it can bounce and hit the vise and get dented. So I'm going to try to catch it. Okay, it does not seem to be coming loose. So I'll try it a couple more times. I may need to pull harder, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 hands on the cornet, and then I'm going to put a cloth around this so if it comes out it's not going to run into the vise. Now I'm going to give it a pretty good pull and see what happens. Well, it pulled the wick out of the vise, so I will try it again. I put this back together and I'm going to try it again. Okay, I don't think that's going anywhere, so I'm going to have to do the next step. Word of caution about the wicking method, do not use that on the larger slides because those can bend if you do that. Just use the wick on the slides with the smaller diameters. Next I'm going to use some leverage to try to pull this out. I have some drumsticks that I ground down so that they would fit between the slide tubes, but on this one it's so narrow that it will not fit. Instead I'm going to use some screwdrivers, and normally I would not use screwdrivers on this because I do not want to damage it with the metal, but I don't know if I have much of a choice on this because the wood is going to be too thin and it's going to break. But I am going to protect it with the wick that I used to pull it out, or try to pull it out with. So I'm going to put that on there like that, put the screwdriver in there, one screwdriver, put the other screwdriver there. I have a whole bunch of lengths of drumsticks that I use for this purpose. I'm going to take one of those, yep, that one looks like it's right length. Then I'm going to squeeze these together and see if the leverage will pull it out. I'm being careful, oh there it goes. I'm being careful because I do not want to damage the inside of the crook or the brace here, but it looks like that is going to work. And the slide is coming out, so let's see if I can pull it out the rest of the way by hand. There it comes. That just leaves one more slide. I'm not sure if the wicking will work on this one because there's a draw knob in the way and also something else in there, but I am going to try it. I'm not going to try it too hard. I don't want to ruin anything. If it doesn't come out easily with the wicking, I will move on to the next method. Back to the vise. Oh, that one came right out. I barely had to pull on it at all. So, all the sides are out. I'm going to finish taking the rest of the cornet apart. There are 2 water keys. That one is off, and one on the main tuning side. And then the valves need to come apart. Okay, that one is stuck. That valve stem is also stuck. And there's a spring, and let's see, I've never seen this setup before. I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure if this valve guide is supposed to come out or not. I don't see how to get the valve guide out. It looks like it may have been soldered in there at the factory. They may have put the valve guide in and soldered the baluster over it, because I don't see how that is going to come out. Unless maybe this is threaded on there. Let's see. Does not look like it's threaded. Well, I guess the valve guide is staying in. Upon further inspection, I noticed that this was threaded, and this screws into the valve guide. I've been doing this job for what, about 25, 26 years, and I just have seen this for the first time. I'm going to take off all the corks and felts because those are going to be replaced. These are in pretty bad shape. To get these unstuck, I'm going to put them in the bench motor and tighten that up and see if they'll come out. Yes, that one came out easily. And the next one. And that came out too. I'm going to put all the little pieces in here and let those soak for a little while. It's a few hours later. I came back to the shop at night time and I'm going to check on my slides and small parts. There are the parts. I will see how the paint... Oh, it's coming right off. Good. That should make my job a lot easier. It's about a half an hour later and I got all the paint off of the small parts. I still have to strip the paint off the bell and the body, but I will have that done before next week. For next Friday's video, I'm going to remove the major dents that are in the bell section. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for that video.